And I
Certainly.
think based on draft, I would prefer Business or Crazy's lineup. Sorry. I think it's a really free Meepo game. Honestly, there's not much more for me to say about that. I think that they drafted themselves into a really good position. Meepo is very good against all these heroes. I guess Enigma. All right, so here's the thing about Meepo versus Enigma. You're going to get Aegis, and Aegis is the counter to Black Hole. And probably more importantly than that, the speed at which you play at is much faster. He uses Black Hole, is on cooldown for 3 minutes, he just goes high ground.
It is indeed going to be a Meepo fast kind of game for Crazy. They are going to be playing 9 Weaver. You've been seeing this? The mid-Weavers? I've been seeing it here and there. European pubs?
My MMR bracket is not high enough
that is
currently for me to play against good players.
You don't get anybody who's trying to be...
I see a ton of Bristle mid. Is that happening?
No. No,
well.
I don't think your pub experience is at all relevant
I'm not
anymore.
exaggerating this number. You can go and check, but I've had 6 Silencer 5s in a row. And I don't know why, but apparently...
Yeah. I haven't seen any of those in any of the games we've casted.
Just keeps hitting me.
Hey, maybe your bracket is ahead of the meta.
True.
Maybe these professional players just need to catch up to the level you're playing at. But yeah, Weaver mid, it's been a thing for, I think, about a week now.
Oh, God, that's worrisome.
Yeah, it hasn't been a long-standing thing. And it probably wasn't a bad idea. I think I specifically saw the matchup...
versus Death Prophet?
Versus Death Prophet. I think Smell was playing one side of it. I don't remember who was on the other
I was taking
side.
a lot of damage for not a lot of reason. He wanted to get that range creep so he could get his level 2 ASAP, but he actually ate like 5 tower hits if I'd had to approximate.
Yeah. At 9 just popped Shikuchi, got 2 CS with it, and ran into Bryle and did a lot of damage to him. Very efficient play so far.
Yeah, he's taking a lot. He's got to kind of be careful. He doesn't have any regen here, and as a result, he's going to have to salve almost immediately. Probably didn't want to use it this early. I am not the most prolific Meepo player. In Dota 1, I used to play it all the time, but in Dota 2, stinker.
Was that because of your Dota 1 days? You're like, I don't want to go back to that.
Play too much StarCraft, man. I don't want to micro.
You giving up that part of your life?
Yeah, I'm not Ink Dota. Like I'm not playing that hero.
Look at that. Very above average win rate for Mars. Brax is a damn good Mars player. We'll say they've got 2 different Mars players on their team actually. They were talking about Nine Assaults in the mid.
With the ping, is he going to get it first?
Oh, he's going to take out, and Kezu wins the 1v1 top lane because, as you can see, they're going aggro on the other side of things.
Dude, Phoenix is insane hero, let me just say.
Yeah?
Like, he just seems to win games.
It's just winning you over more and more?
Yeah, the more I see it, it just, when the hero is good, and by the way, like, most of the time, like, when heroes get or when they're good, it's just because, like, nothing really gets changed. It's just these, like, either the heroes that are good he's good against, or enough things get buffed about it, where it's hard to ignore, right? It's the number changes, even little things make such a big difference.
Oh, hey, great example of that. Undying, we saw it earlier today, failed miserably as a core, but that is a hero that has been, I think he's on a 4, 5, or maybe 6 patch run of buffs.
Yeah.
Still not a good hero. Fear, bottom lane, is going to be caught, swarmed over by Skeeter and the rest of Crazy.
We did this before, right? We had a very similar-ish lane in the game that you and I played together. It was like Death Prophet plus Tusk and Grimstroke. Let me say, Death Prophet plus Tusk doesn't lose a lot of lanes.
Yeah, I can imagine the ability to... Like, in some ways, it's even better than Earthshaker.
Yeah.
Right? Because Earthshaker will get a good Fisher, and that will mean a great Spirit Siphon. But Tusk, he'll Ice Shard block you, and then on top of that, he'll close the distance with that hero and start punching him.
Yeah.
Slowing him down with that tag team.
The best part I'd say about Death Prophet as a hero, and this is what I think we should talk about, is, like, why the hero is good when it is good.
Okay.
Just because, like, you know, the number values get changed. But I think the more interesting is, like, why the hero is good when it is good. I think with Death Prophet, chief among those reasons, and we saw it yesterday, is the ability to go for Yules as your first major item, and it being, like, your defensive and offensive tool. Like, the thing, for example, about Lina, when she gets Yules, it's purely offense, right? Like, if she Yules herself, she's probably, like, dying on the way down. But with Death Prophet, because you get to begin the Spirit Siphon, when they come melee range to you, and then you just can Yules yourself, and you're healing, like, 150 HP a second, you don't really die. And it's, like, pretty cost-effective. Like, when he wasn't able to get it yesterday against Shadow Demon, that was miserable. You know, like, you can really feel the impact of that hero, like, fall off a cliff.
Okay, but Yules isn't, like, that different of an item than it was before, and it's always been an offensive, defensive tool for Death Prophet. Brax, he's going to be taking a lot of damage here. If KheZu actually hits him with one more of these Fire Spirits, he's probably going to die, especially with that attack. Brax is going to fall. He knows it, too. KheZu up 2-0 to Brax. Now we're going to go back over to this tri-lane on tri-lane action, where Skeeter is going to chase away Moo on that Terrorblade. Once again, the Death Prophet threat of that Spirit Siphon is occasionally kicking the Terrorblade back, but TB is up in CS by a significant margin, 19-6 compared to 14-6 of the Death Prophet.
What was your comment going to be, though?
You wanted to talk about, like, game changes.
Yeah. And
why a hero comes back in. So what are the game changes in your head?
Well, the main thing is that... Sorry, I'm trying to see if...
Oh, okay.
That's a nice roll.
Moon Meander is going to be rolling straight into his death. That was a pretty cheeky cookie there. Throwing onto the Terrorblade Illusion. Hits Moon Meander square in the jaw and does knock him out.
Here's 9, and he's kind of going for it right now, but...
Yeah, that's...
Leaves him with 1 HP. Not going to get the kill. He does not want to be mid, let me say. And a defensive hero that just dies to, like, 1 net... Oof.
Yeah.
Doesn't feel good.
You were supposed to have a free lane against Death Prophet, who doesn't want to go silence early. But now you're matched up against Meepo, who has the perfect disable for Weaver in the ensnare.
But they changed her ulti, so you get the move speed based on the ult. And that hero really is just an ult, so being able to get move speed off of that is highly beneficial.
I like the way that Pandago described it. He played mid-Death Prophet, and he's like, you know, the one thing is movement speed. Of course, it's going to feel incredible, but movement speed is also damage. The closer you are to a hero, the more the shorter distance the ghosts have to travel to hit the hero, and comes back and then goes back out in the rotation once again. Moo, he's going to be caught in the ice shards, knows he has to fight his way out of here, won't be able to survive, does a lot of damage to Moon Meander, who's going to use his snowball to try and save his life. Won't be so, because 9 is still visiting from abroad. He's sitting here in this bottom lane instead of mid.
Man, 9 is moving around a lot. I like that movement. I think it's important for him to abuse one of Meepo's weaknesses, is that he does not want to move based on rune timings.
Yeah.
Like, Meepo is not a hero that he gets a DD or an illusion and he's like, oh man, let me just, or an invis, and just like, I'm going to go to the safe lane and kill that person. It's like, I'm going to use this to farm a lot faster. That's really what it does. And so you as a mid hero, Cap, have 2 options if you're playing against a Meepo. A, you out-rotate him, or B, you out-push him.
Okay.
So that's why, like, Shadow Fiend, for example, always feels nice to play against Meepo. It's because you can push out the wave and then just hit the tower.
Yeah. Meepo will either have no time to jungle.
Yeah.
Or if he does jungle, his tower is going to be under assault constantly.
Like, you want to take his tier 1 tower as fast as possible, or you want to out-rotate. With Weaver, this is not possible. You need a hero that can spam out the lane very fast to be able to take his tower, right? Like, you want to be able to kill a creep wave really quickly.
Just going to pop the Supernova, because why not? If you can get another kill, he's actually going to be able to get out of range of the egg there.
That was really surprising from KheZu.
Yeah, I think he actually killed a lot of his damage by not sticking around and getting more Fire Spirits. Fire Spirits is all of your damage right now.
I think he should have thrown at least like 2 more out.
Yeah.
He had plenty of time. Maybe thought that that would be enough as Brawl picks up a haste rune, but they do have some AoE to deal with the Meepo, I will say. I still think it's a very good Meepo game against cores, but I'd say the supports are the best part about playing against Meepo right now. Like the Enigma plus the Snapfire. Snapfire ult is great against Meepo. But yeah, to your point about what Pandago said on Death Prophet, 100%. Agree. I buy that reasoning. And I like this move a lot.
This is a very important kill for them to be able to bring down Bryal. They have been focused all those rotations down to bottom, but it's time to even the score a little bit more and get a kill on Bryle.
Really like that move. This is the other move that you can make, is gank him when he's in the jungle. Way too many people feel like if you're a core hero, I can't rotate. Especially the side laners are so loath to rotate. But we saw yesterday when MSS played Timbersaw, he was willing to move around the map as a Timbersaw. So why can't you move around the map as a Mars? Like, make these plays set up for them, smoke with your team. Way too many people are like, no rush 15. You know, like, everyone chill in the lane.
Yeah.
We'll see what happens. If the kill comes to me, then I'll take that kill.
Nowadays, heroes farm so quickly that 15 minutes is way too long to wait.
Yeah.
Some heroes come online by 15 minutes when they would be nothing at 10. Speaking of timers here, the 10-minute mark is coming up. Bounties and outposts. As you can see, business associates may need to do something here if they want to be able to claim that bottom one. They are in striking distance of it, or maybe they could just try and pressure the Meepo again. It's hard with only one stun. And yeah, that's not going to work out at all.
Oh, did they get both the outs? No. They took one back. That's what happened.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they'll also split the bounties as a result. I do feel like...
Oh, this is a build I saw last night, by the way. Mask of Madness TB.
Oh, yeah. What? Can you explain that? What's this going around?
Mask of Madness is good for two reasons. It's like, if you have an Ancient / Tower hitter, it feels really good, of course. And more importantly than that, if you can build Butterfly and Satanic at some point, or you have a reason to build those two items, even better. Because it's very efficient damage that it gives you, right? Like, you take a Tower or Ancient so fast.
It does feel like that is another trend of right now. We talk about Ring of Tarrasque, Headdress, Ring of Regen especially. Everyone's really focused on cost-efficient items.
Yeah. Mask of Madness is super cost efficient because it's an item that allows you to like have regen for free while, you know, it's eventually going to be useful.
Yeah. Because of its distinct downside, it comes with unusual upsides.
Yeah, where you get to split
the stats
item.
are unusually high for it.
Yeah, and you get to split the item.
Yeah.
You take towers and farm really quick though with Mask of Madness.
Yeah, if you're given that free space. And I guess the idea being up against a Meepo lineup, Meepo won't want to defend, so if they could bring 5, maybe they can pressure towers freely. We'll see, though. Crazy still has plenty of good team fight without their Meepo between the Phoenix and the Winter Wyvern. Another spear back onto the Tusk. Brax is in trouble here. A Cookie is going to be able to bounce him a little bit farther away. A long-range Snowball is not going to be able to catch up to Brax, and he doesn't have the Ice Shards either. So the offlaner of Business Associates does survive, and now it's Crazy's turn to maybe put some pressure on mid. I mean, they don't have Exorcism yet. How much longer? 45 seconds. Yeah, they probably won't do anything here, I imagine. But
and they're sticking around, but look at this.
They're really going to go for it. Moon Meander with the haste rune is going to try and do something here, but they have the arena, and now they have the Snapfire ultimate raining in damage. Now the Tusk's already dead with a black hole into the backside on Skeeter. Fear saves himself and brings down the Death Prophet in one fell swoop. Now, Bryle, he's going to be caught in. They actually pop the Supernova here on the side with Winter's Curse, making sure that no one can actually hit that egg. It's going to explode on everybody, stunning them, making sure to bring down 9. Really great chain stunning there.
Really well done.
Will be able to back up, though.
That was every ulti used. Now you take mid tower. Gonna have to wait for a second here as KheZu just goes for a quickie dive.
Yeah, well, that death timers don't last for long, and even without the arena, Mars does plenty of damage and is a very hard hero to push into.
Yeah, I guess they don't have spells of their own, right? They use egg. As we're gonna see, I feel like Moon debated his team poorly here.
Yes.
Like, really poorly.
Like, what was the point of trying to force this mid-action without Exorcism?
Yeah, it was super awkward. It kind of worked out because KheZu baited the Weaver very nicely, and they were in good position to turn this around. Like, AUI had a good curse there. They layered things well. But I think the overall move is just awkward.
Back into the game, Brax tries to land a spear. It actually does hit Skeeter for a little bit of damage. No stun, the Cold Embrace, and the Snowball, both being used in conjunction to be able to bail out Skeeter. He heals up to about a half of his health pool, and he's going to be able to turn with the Spirit Siphon. Brax just being a nice, healthy target for him to suck away all that life. The 4 and 3 position of Business Associates are now dead. And Crazy, they may not have gotten that mid tower, but they're certainly in position to push in this bottom lane for more, as they're going to be able to get a long-range net on Fear, capturing a 3rd victim.
That was well done by Moon. He kind of makes up for what he did mid. And you see the difficulties of playing the Weaver-Meepo matchup. As soon as he got netted, not when he lost HP at all, as soon as he got netted, he had to pop his time-lapse and run out of there.
Yeah.
And that's the scary part. As soon as you see this Meepo as a Weaver, you're just, you're a scared bug. I feel for him.
Even if you stay there for, like, let's say you take some damage, if you pop your time lapse, you end up in the same spot.
Yeah, you'll die.
You're going to get ensnared again.
So pretty much as soon as you walk into the fight and you get netted, time lapse.
Yeah.
And sure, you're out of the fight, but you're sort of, again, you're out of the fight because you're just running away. Well, I can't do anything.
So Weaver's not useful, and Terrorblade's certainly not online. Crazy have the tempo.
Oh,
Keep it up.
What am I
Keep up
looking
the
at?
pace.
That's a Holy Locket. First item.
Yeah. More and more people have been experimenting with this item. After all, you're going to build up a Ring of Terras. Might as well make some good use of it. Brax taking the Fire Spirit's damage. Going to be caught by the Meepo. He's already dead. Moon Meander almost traded out here. They're going to be able to pop the egg. Surrounding all these heroes is a really great positioning for it. 9 has to skitter away. Speaking of Skeeter, he's on top of 9, but does not have enough disables to be able to capture him. They did blow Exorcism for this, and they've really been wanting that mid tower for a while, but didn't do any damage just yet. Maybe the Meepo, though, can single-handedly provide the hand that's needed to fell this tower.
And he's got an E-Blade already, and looks like he's going to go for Scotty next. Just stat up like crazy. You got to be careful. Don't want to get netted. Brow's getting low-ish, though. I think they might not be able to
that
kill him.
is a beautiful Winner's Curse. That's going to be able to catch 4 of them.
The 4-man silence,
leaving
too.
into the Weaver with the silence over the top.
Boy.
9 just runs straight into a wall, and Skeeter claims the kill. Now, surprisingly, some of Business Associates did manage to extricate themselves from that nasty situation. Brax and Moose both got away. Brax actually juking Moon Meander here as the Ice Shards was intended to block him. Nice use of the butt spear there. Pops the bulwark so there's no animation turn rate for him to throw the spear. He could just chuck it behind him, pushes the Tusk away, and only 2 die in that engagement, but the very big objective in mid tower does fall as well.
AUI is nasty with these hands.
Yeah. He's giving him the slot.
That was really well done by AUI, setting that all up. And that was just Business Associates getting just a little bit too eager. Thought they had an opportunity. I thought they did too. And then the Winner's Curse happened.
It's just, one side does have Exorcism and Supernova, but I feel like Business Associates can only take team fights with their Terrorblade using Metamorphosis.
I completely agree with that. I think that without them, they don't really have damage anyways. They would have to use their major ultis, and if for whatever reason the Death Prophet gets snowballed out, that would be disaster. They have a lot of ways to deal with this Enigma, too. They've got Phoenix Egg. They have Wyvern Curse. They have Tusk. They have a lot of different long-range abilities to be able to take it out. So it's not like the easiest Enigma game either.
Now the Meepo just got a whole lot tankier, especially to the damage of that Weaver and Terrorblade. The 20% evasion with an E-Blade, so...
Yeah, and he's going to have Scotty after... let's say, after he takes this Roshan in about 2 minutes, he's going to have Scotty. It's going to be really hard for them to kill him. And it's not getting any... the pace of the game is going to be so fast. That's the best part about having Death Prophet as one.
See that 100% win rate in his last 3 games. Those 3 games being this DPC season.
Yes, I'll steal those stats from you.
It is also the highest win rate pub hero right now.
Ooh.
In Immortal and above. 63% win rate.
It's because of the change to how the blind pick works.
Yes, those nasty Meepo players. They get to last pick Meepo, potentially not being countered by a single
It's a
hero.
coin flip, and there's so many heroes mid that are bad against Meepo that it is a weighted coin flip. I'd say that sounds about right. 60% of the more of the heroes that you might potentially pick mid won't be good against that, like Quap, Storm. I guess SF is good, but Ember, I imagine he's okay against Void Spirit because of his net.
Hey, we talked about the philosophy of when you pick in pubs and stuff.
Yeah.
Well, this is a great example of that's realistic. To have a Meepo game that is totally uncountered,
Yeah, sure.
it is realistic for Bryle to be able to get that because here it is. He's in a professional match with no counters on the table.
That applies, though, for specific situations where, like, you're Brood or you want to practice Brood or Meepo.
Yeah, it's a Brood, Meepo, and what else? It's mostly it, right?
Yeah, Brood, Meepo.
Alchemist.
Yeah, I think so, actually. Brood, Meepo, Alk. Guess, like, Anti-Mage, too. These are, like, the heroes that I consider, they got us. We forgot. Son of a bitch. Yeah.
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 Well, business associates, they're certainly thinking that right now. Those sons of bitches. They got us with the Meepo. Can they triumph over this trial?
Look at that.
A 6K net worth lead
Second
for Crazy
item
right now.
BKB.
Second item BKB.
I'm not messing around with Meepo. I like it. It's ambitious and aggressive. It's playing to win, I would say.
That partly, it also explains why they haven't been using this Terrorblade, because Moo's just been kind of like, guys, I'm going to rush a build that allows me to fight early, but I'm not going to be able to join you in these small engagements. I am full-on focused so we can hit this really big peak at 20 minutes.
I don't know if that works, though.
You don't think it's going to work for him?
It's scary. If he fails one fight, the game is effectively over. That's another reason why I think Meepo is broken, is he takes building so darn fast. So, again, one fight, you lose racks. And he does it at such a time period where not a lot of teams are ready for it, right? It's like 19, 20 minutes in, and Meepo's hitting your racks. What is it in game right now? 20-something?
It is 20-40.
Yeah, it's what items are you really going to have against this? And if you fail the fight, Meepo pushes out all your lanes, so he's most likely going to take at least like another set on top of this if all things go right. But this is a pretty good base defense so far.
We're doing a decent amount of poke damage,
but now the tower's gone.
Remember, this is just an Aegis that they have to eat through in the first place. The tower is now gone. And Exorcism still going out. They're going to pop the arena, catching a fair number of heroes, but maybe they've caught too many. The Snapfire's laying in a lot of damage. One of the Meepos is kind of low, but now it's going to get snowballed in. The Winter's Curse is going to allow them to reset. They've caught the Weaver as well as the Enigma trapped together. They throw out the Cookie to try and save the Weaver, but the Silence as well as the Ensnares, that could be good enough, as well as the Egg in the back line to make sure the business associates can't push forward. But now that it's exploded, they find a victim potentially in Skeeter, but no, Skeeter turns around, Spirit siphons up, he's healing so much.
That's a really nice hole.
That's going to be able to catch at least 3 here. They're going to be able to finish off Moon Meander, but Bryle, he's still trucking here. That Meepo, it's not gone down once. Finally it does, but that's just the Aegis. Are they going to have anything left in the tank to be able to take him out a second time? Lead with a Snapfire Cookie. Moo trying to put some physical damage onto one of these Meepos, but between the evasion and just the high stats, it is a slow slog, but eventually the Meepo might just fall. In fact, it does. That's going to be 4 gone from Crazy, and they did not take a barracks. They had that Aegis. They had what seemed to be a great high ground push coming. It forced a lot of buybacks, but at the end, what they really wanted was a lane of barracks there.
Yeah, that was such a nice hole. And they had used the Winter's Curse, so they knew there was it was very unlikely to get canceled, and good buyback from Fear. They needed to just reset a little bit off of that. As we're going to see in the replay, they wanted an initiation, and they found it. Simultaneously, they get the Winter's Curse off. After this Snapfire combo, they use it on the Enigma, which does get both of those heroes killed, but they used way too much at once for this.
It's a big problem when you see Brax throw the arena, but every time he has to break the Spirit Siphon.
Yeah.
Otherwise, he's healing the Death Prophet too much. And then finally, Fear, with that buyback, is able to hit just a beautiful black hole that catches all those Meepos as well as the Death Prophet and Tusk.
And that was a sick hole. You're not really asking more of them. It doesn't help, though, that they weren't able to kill the Enigma there, too. The mini-stun actually got the Meepo killed.
Yeah, that Malefice really screwed it.
If he doesn't have that, he actually lives on the Meepo.
Yeah.
No joke.
His early use of the E-Blade, I think, was a mistake by Bryle as well. He came into his second life and almost immediately E-bladed.
They should go for it again, though. No, there's no TB How long until meta?
I mean, the black hole and
10
buybacks
seconds.
were instrumental in being able to hold high ground. Even if they do have metamorphosis up, I don't know how they stop it without that big AoE control.
Yeah, without the whole... And this is what I was talking about, how Enigma does technically counter Meepo, but in a greater sense, long cooldowns are terrible against Meepo.
Yeah.
That's why, for example, Void is awful against Meepo too, as they're going to pop the arena,
Do it again.
but Meepo's still in there.
Like Midnight Pulse, but this time no Snapfire ultimate to be able to
pretty
follow it
good
up. They actually
spear.
throw in the TP. He pops his BKB. Winter's Curse. It's too late. The Meepo's gone, and Crazy have to get out. They're going to pop the Supernova as well, trying to protect it. Moon Meander can do the Walrus Punch, but look at Moose. Lays into it with this shotgun. Bop, bop, bop. Takes out the egg. Now they're going to be able to get Skeeter
is a
in as
terrible fight
well.
for them.
Crazy. I can't believe they tried to turn things around like this. The Exorcism still going out. Not able to get Moo, but maybe Moo. Okay, Moo actually survives.
And the Sunder.
Gets off the Sunder onto Brax. He'll survive through that Winter's Blast that came out from the Winter Wyvern. 5 dead on the side of Crazy. And goddamn, I thought that was just going to be a one-off kill on Meepo. Everyone leaves.
No, that's 5 heroes. They are just not using their combos correctly.
No.
They're not getting the egg plus Wyvern ult off. So earlier we saw a team pick Phoenix into Snapfire, and that works when you're able to lay the egg in an awkward position and you get on top of the Snapfire yourself. When it's just 5 on 5, you're just staring at each other. It's really easy for the Snapfire to get that kill.
Yeah.
As Moon just kind of suicides. Honestly, that's really what that was. That's a 6th death now.
Yeah.
It's a 6 for 0. That's the right, yeah, it's correct.
And the way I read that is, like, I think Moon Meander made the call. Like, Kezu pops the egg. Maybe he's just saying, like, I'll make sure they can't chase. And Moon Meander's like, oh, I can protect the egg with this Walrus Punch. I can stop the TB. Skeeter's like, all right, well, I guess we'll turn things around.
And then they all die.
And then they all die. Instead of what could have been just a Phoenix and Meepo.
And now this TB is enormous.
Oh, he a big boy.
So before he only had the BKB to fight with before in that fight, and he was still laying out the most damage. And now he's got a full Mask of Madness. And he actually did not disassemble it.
Yeah, he's keeping that.
Interesting.
Well, it's a simpler life when you pop the Mask of Madness, you know? You don't have to think about things.
Couldn't Sunder.
Just swigging.
That's on me, guys.
Yeah, I was silenced. What could I do?
Self-silenced.
The Terrorblade's getting really big, but Crazy do have one of those heroes that is always a threat to a Terrorblade, right? Winter Wyvern.
Yeah, Wyvern and Phoenix are both.
Wyvern versus TV. We've seen many of whether it's Terrorblade himself get torn apart by his own illusions or some other poor hero that gets a little too close to Terrorblade and all those illusions gets instantly tapped out. Gotta watch out for that Winter's Curse. Phoenix is surprisingly the 3rd highest net worth hero in the game. Kezu,
Why are you surprised by that? He had a very good laning phase.
Yeah, he did have a good laning phase. He did really well for himself. Phoenix isn't really known for having the best farming mechanisms.
No, but he
And
had
I just
such a
would
good
have
laning phase.
anticipated that Death Prophet or Weaver would have caught up by now.
They took a lot of towers. He's been in a lot of kills. He's got a lot of last hits for kills. And when he has levels, I don't think he's that bad at flash farming.
Yeah.
Because he can just Fire Spirit dive. And he's got a Veil. Veil plus Fire Spirits actually clears the creep wave really fast. What am I talking about?
That is the thing, though. It's a long cooldown.
Yeah.
So as long as you're willing to be like, can't fight for 25 seconds, guys.
Yeah, if you're pushing out a wave.
Yeah. He almost has the Aghanim Scepter with the Shivas. That is going to be really threatening, especially if he can get his level 18.
Please help him, guys. Don't let him get shredded. It's not even like the TB that's as annoying as the Snapfire that sits in the back and then like 3 shots it.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you get up to level 18, all of a sudden Little Shredder's like a 3rd.
That's still insane.
Maybe, yeah, I mean, it's pretty good for just a support putting it up. 11 attacks to destroy, 13 with the Ags.
So Crazy still have a decent-ish timing window, and they're going to get an Ags in level 18 on their Phoenix. So, like you said, who knows? There's still opportunities for this for sure. But the next Aegis here is going to be really important for them. If they give this Aegis up, I don't know what happens. Very scary at that point.
Yeah. It is a... Crazy have a great Aegis hero in Meepo.
Yeah, and he's got a Hex now too, Cap.
Business Associate's not as good. You put it on the Weaver, I guess. It's not great on TB, but maybe you put it on him since he's the highest net worth.
Yeah, it's not
but
amazing
it's really
on TV.
important for them to just take it away.
Yeah, not giving it up.
Don't give it to Meepo.
I think you have to give it to Weaver. I think Moo has to feel pretty confident. I don't think he's really been punished this game whatsoever in the team fights.
Yeah.
So I think you just hope that he lives anyways.
They're going to have some really cool opportunity
they're
for
actually
saves
gonna run
here.
into
This
the
is
Meepo.
great gank on a Meepo. They're going to be able to spear that one remaining Meepo to the arena wall. 80 seconds on the clock. He does have a buyback, and he's probably going to be forced to use it just to be able to play for Roshan. Otherwise, Crazy, they may not be able to do anything about it. I think Business Associates could march right into that pit and guarantee a buyback here.
Especially with the Mask of Madness.
Yeah, it's going to go down
I would like
real
for them to
fast.
go for it. I think this is their win condition. If they get this Aegis, it's really hard for Crazy to win this game after that.
Do you think Crazy should buy back on the Meepo to defend?
For the Aegis?
Yes.
There's an argument to be made where you don't because of the reasons we just talked about, right? We don't think that getting an Aegis is very good on Business Associates.
Okay.
Oh, they don't even know this is happening, huh? AUI actually just went for that bounty rune.
I'm shocked they didn't know this was happening.
Yeah, me too.
And AUI is now going to potentially die for his hubris. He still has that bug on him, and 09, he's going to catch up to him eventually here with these Shikuchis, but maybe he's afraid of getting a little bit too close to the base.
Spear from downtown?
He's going to try for it. The last shot up high ground. Neither shot misses with the Maelstrom proc as well. He gets the kill.
Just the extra
on
effort.
AUI.
That's the game telling you it hates you.
It wants you to lose. Well, with the remaining bit of that Metamorphosis, they're going to push down mid. It's going to run out now after they take that mid-tier 2. So I don't think they'll take advantage of the Winter Wyvern being dead, but they can easily control the map for
God, this TB is
good while.
strong.
They did give him everything. They gave him the Aegis and the cheese.
That's fine. With Mask of Madness and like the fact that he's got Daedalus BKB, I'm sure he's still fight ready.
Yeah, you might not be a great Aegis hero, but when you're 6,500 net worth over the 2 position, maybe you give it to him anyway.
Yeah. They're going to go for pretty big smoke here. If they can catch... They know that meta's down.
Yeah.
That's really big. That's probably the main thing that they're kind of banking on right now. And if they could... they don't want to use the Hex, though, on him. Maybe if they could blow up the Marzipan? No, they're not going to go for him either. And now that their smoke is broken, this is going to be just more and more awkward as time goes on. Moon is still in there. And he's going to get...
Moonmander is going to try and initiate here. Leading with the Walrus Punch. Snowball to follow it up. Chain setting up Brax as long as possible. Brax was trying to make himself a target here, and Business Associates will be willing to take the fight back to them. With Reflection going out, Moo's just going to try and chase down Moon Meander, who's trying to get away. The Spirit Vessel is taking him away. Surely he's going to be claimed. Churn. Moo. He just swipes him with one of those shots. 9 runs into Kezu here, trying to collect those extra couple of kills that allow them to go high ground. Pretty sure they'll be able to do that anyway, seeing as Exorcism was blown by Crazy.
Boy, I don't know what some of these like moves are. I feel like Moon's getting like unnecessarily desperate.
He has forced a lot of fights that were questionable.
Yeah.
For sure.
Like that move right there. Onto
Brax
the
sees
Mars.
his opportunity to be able to go for the arena. Spears one of the Meepos. Now the Sapphire shots are laying in. One of the Meepos down to half health here, but Brax is already dead. Fear's going to buy back almost immediately here. 9 with his BKB out. Still trying to finish off one of those Meepos. They actually get the Cold Embrace to be able to save him. Now the Supernova going out as well. They have a silence. Moo, he pops his BKB, turns on the damage on the Prowl, but he can't quite get him. He loses his life. That is still the Aegis in hand, but he's going to come back with no Metamorphosis and no way to be able to finish off those Meepos. Business Associates, they've stumbled too far. They thought they could just close out the game right away in one fell swoop, and instead...
The awkward thing about diving, here, let me tell you the worst part about diving, is it ruins life for your supports. All of a sudden, your supports that have set up just like perfect position for themselves and are making sure not to die and stuff, well, they're your backline.
Yep.
And all of a sudden, you've moved your backline into your front line. When you're by a tier 4 tower and everyone's getting hit by a tier 4 tower, then it's like, it's just a shit show. Like, you can't really protect anybody at that point. You're open season.
If you're trying to get to that area, you're naturally going to clump up as well because you can't maintain spacing while
where's the
simultaneously
space in the base?
all trying to run to a singular point.
Yes.
You're all going to be running close to each other as you get closer and closer to that point.
There is no backline anymore as they're just going to go for the high ground. They know there's a glyph available, so they don't want to pop the Death Prophet ult.
Oh, Moon Meander!
Oh, Moon, what did you do? All right.
I was wondering, by the way, when you said...
Do you deserve it?
I was wondering if maybe you're giving advice to Crazy here, because I could definitely see a real world where Crazy does the exact same thing as business associates. Fortunately, it was just Moon Meander here. Maybe Crazy's learning to not listen to Moon Meander
I love
so
David
much.
Tan. And I bet, his girl Christina's watching too, shout out. But my boy is making some questionable maneuvers this game. He is making some moves that he is not thinking straight. Maybe it's too early or something. Didn't get a good night's rest.
Moon is an off-laner after my own heart in that he doesn't care about his own life.
No.
He's willing to start fights, And
I think Moon's actually like a really underrated 4.
Yeah.
I think Boy's a beast, but this game he is not valuing his life enough. He's just kind of getting after it. This is why I love Dota, though. Like, I'm having a good time watching this, because and this is a phrase that I don't love to steal, but like it is subverting my expectations. I keep thinking like one team is gonna win, and then it's just like M. Night Shyamalan plot twist. They were dead all along. Like, I have no idea.
They went for the high ground push, looking to end the game. Little did they know.
Yeah. Would I do it any better? Probably not, because I'm an idiot, but, these guys are pros.
I think that is one of the many, many things. But the Tier 1 teams, they always have a good mind for buybacks.
Yeah.
They will never overextend for a kill that doesn't matter. They'll overextend for that Meepo kill if he hadn't used buyback.
Yeah.
Because that's a game-ending play right there. But that play was not potentially a game-ending play. Unless they thought he didn't have buyback from gold, which I'm not sure how you would guess that. I mean, maybe just he died somewhat recently.
Maybe because he bought his Hex, and they were like, oh, well.
Yeah.
Not sure.
Could be.
But yeah, wild game so far.
It's certainly shaped up to be an interesting one. Game 1 of Crazy versus Business Associates.
Let's get after it.
22-20. You really want to win here because Evil Geniuses has already been taken out by Quincy Crew.
Mm-hmm.
And so you do not want to be the 4th worst team in your group. That's when you get eliminated. You can no longer go to the playoffs. And we've already kind of set up the expectations that these are the 2 teams that are in that 3-4 area. Very likely this
really
series. That's true.
With EG being weakened, by like I think of it as like a kingdom, so I was going to say like the trade wars, like they've lost some allies. EG have lost some allies, they're weak. You see
a
all
power vacuum.
Exactly. All like the co-conspirators are just like out there and like they're talking amongst themselves. They can sense weakness. There's blood in the water.
Oh, those lower level nobles who once were unimportant now see an opportunity.
Yeah, you can make some real play for land here, as I've gone way too far with this analogy. And EG, Quincy Crew is not default 1. I could easily see them also lose Crazy or Business Associates. Like, it's never been closer in NA, for sure.
Yeah.
So we're kind of in a weird stalemate right now. Roche has to be coming up soon, right? If not up.
It may respawn in 12 seconds.
Okay.
So we will see the actual spawn time here quite soon.
And that is why
up by Crazy as they go outside of their base. How do you break this, by the way?
What?
The Radiant defending high ground while Dire holds the Radiant triangle and just kind of sits there.
It's really hard, especially with TB. This is when TB gets this slotted. I have no idea what's going on. So
yeah,
now
Nine's just hitting buildings.
So all right, guys, your smoke has failed. You've lost racks.
I don't know how business associates just seem to know. They're like,
I think they knew because as soon as they poked and nobody showed up. And then they lost racks. There was probably a moment in the game where Nine was like, guys, I'm pretty certain they're smoked. They're either smoking or they're smoked.
Let me just say, it's a bold move for him to go something like that because he doesn't have a Lincolns.
No, he just
so
went
Meepo
for
could just all of a sudden jump Scythe, and
I
they
like
don't
that
have,
move though.
They don't have the most saves.
It was a very good read.
Yeah. Oh. Moose has my favorite thing in the entire game of Dota 2 right now.
Yeah, the Ags on Snapfire.
He's about to pick up Aghanims on Snapfire.
Let me say, Moose is, and this is the best compliment I can pay for any for. Moose is a really annoying player to play against. He and I remember in our series in like Chengdu, I was like, oh, damn it, not this guy. You know, he makes life hard for you.
Yeah.
And that is like the best compliment I can play. Like if you're 4 and it's annoying to play against you, like that's
you're doing something right.
Yeah, exactly.
Sure.
I don't mean he's annoying, guys, by the way, in case anyone took it like that.
Yeah, Moose is actually quite the sweetheart.
That's the whiff.
Okay, the side turnaround on Brax. He attempted to get a Blood Spear to throw somebody out of position. He's going to be saved by Moose, who feeds him a cookie, gets him 250 health, and a hop over that Ice Shard that was looking to block him in. Meanwhile, they are battling for control over the Roshan pit. But at the same time, Nine is looking to exploit that by cutting into bottom wave. They're going to try and go for Skeeter here, see if they can get this fast kill. Brax has to walk away from the Spirit Siphon, though. Meanwhile, bottom lane, they caught him. Nine, you don't have a Lincolns, so you were very susceptible to that Meepo. Crazy. Now have the numbers advantage, a way to be able to force a buyback.
And that's the best part about Meepo is you just leave one behind, he will catch you. He's like Ember Spirit in that
back
regard.
up, and they have a buyback.
Yeah, they want to take this fight. They know they can't give up this Roche. It's so dangerous at this point in the game. It's the second one of the game, I believe, right? No, third.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back. We're going to the game of Crazy versus Business Associates. We're right in the middle of game one. We're about to have a team fight in a 4 versus 5. Business Associates will be microing Fear. Unfortunately, his power is still out. They've lost contact with him, and they're just going to keep going, keep trucking. 41 minutes into the game. This is going to be hard.
Quite a long pause, to be fair. I do think before he DC'd, by the way, they were most likely in a worse position. Like, it feels bad for sure, but I would have said that it was like 60-40.
Yeah. I mean, they were finishing up Roshan.
Yeah.
They were already in the Roshan pit.
And Weaver had just bought back.
Yeah.
And Enigma had already used his buyback too.
So we now have an Aghanim Scepter on the Death Prophet.
Yes. That is such a big Ags. Like a lot of these Ags pickups, you're just like, eh. You know, it feels kind of just a little bit mediocre. Like if anybody from Business Associate would have gone out, I would have just said like, it's good, but it's not like crazy impactful. But Death Prophet is like.
Death Prophet it's a core item that she didn't build.
Yeah. Because she was just so poor.
Most Death Prophets will actually try and build Aghanim Scepter, but Skeeter did not have the greatest game. Now he's in a great position. Yules, Heaven's Halberd, Assault Cuirass, 3,000 HP, and an Aghanim's Blessing. He's got a cheese ready to go. Meepo has his Aegis. Crazy. I've already taken one lane of barracks. And now they're going to be trying to go high ground. They still have to watch out for a duo. Moose is currently the one microing Fear, it looks like. And it makes sense because they are the ones with the combo. Moose is going to be trying to use Gobble Up, the Aghanim Scepter of Snapfire, to grab the Enigma and launch him into a fight.
Get him in that back line.
And get him into a position where he can get a great black hole.
Yeah, the unfortunate thing is that Fear had a lot of gold.
Yes, he
Or
did.
he
He
DC'd.
had
Oh.
like 6,000 gold or something like that. Skeeter is going to be speared in onto that tier 3, but again, he's very tanky. They're going to use the Orchid here. Nice blink in by Moon Meander, using the snowball, allowing Skeeter to be able to survive through that silence. Now he's going to pop the cheese, turn around, exorcism up. 9, he's going to try and fight, but the Heaven's Halberd is stopping a lot of his damage, and now the Winter's Curse stops even more of it. As he's freed from that stun, he continues trying to fight it out, but on the right-hand side, Bryle's already taken that
just the
second lane
Rax
of
is being
barracks.
taken.
Metamorphosis. They need to be able to fight through this exorcism right now. Otherwise, they're going to have to fight up against Magus. They find their opening. There's going to be Spear onto Skeeter. They do have a lot of damage coming out from Moo, but the
Where's he
snowball,
gonna go?
he's going to be able to go onto the left-hand side. Moo, he's now fighting into Bryle. Has to get away from this. Meepo is doing too much damage. The Black Hole, meanwhile, locking down the two of them, but without their damage dealer in the Terror Blade, it is looking hopeless for its Business Associate. Only Weaver, who's really left doing the damage here, but Bryle has managed to stay alive through all of it, and he still has the second life as well. Pushing him past the tier 4s. A great Ice Shard's going to be able to block in Brax. He dies as well. A buyback is available there. Bryle turns back into 9, killing him. Now there's no damage dealers left for Business Associates, and Fear, who is still gone. Business Associates very likely to call the GG here in this game 1.
Yeah, not really sure how they're going to hold the front line without him. They're going to send him.
Okay, Mars gets gobbled up in, gets the arena out. Snowball actually picks up everybody.
Might as well.
Rolls onto the Mars, dodging a lot of damage. They finish him off. Die back for him as well as for
And that's just going to be the
Moose.
game.
And that is going to be the game. I'm presuming Business Associates are probably just trying to buy some time here. Because
Not that much, apparently.
hopefully